This is ABC Fora.
The man who became the Buddha was born in a small kingdom in the foothills of the Himalaya mountains over 2,000 years ago. We do not know his exact date, and there has been some debate about it, but let us say about 2,500 to 400 years ago. He renounced the throne at the age of 29 and went into the world in search of the truth, in a quest of an end to human suffering. That was one of the ways that Indian philosophy at the time viewed the questions of philosophy, was the question of the unsatisfactory nature of life, of impermanence, of the fact that life was not an easy thing. So the philosophical quest, the religious quest, was to seek the solution to the question of suffering, rather than to engage, although that was also done, in elaborate explanations of the universe or ontologies. After 6 years of searching, the man we know as Gautama achieved awakening, seated beneath a tree which became known as the awakening tree, the Bodhi tree. From that time on, the awakened one traveled on foot back and forth over a restricted region of North India, now defined by modern Nepal and the modern Indian states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. That is all. He went no further. He established a monastic order of monks and nuns and lived for 80 years, tirelessly teaching the truths he had discovered. The world into which the Buddha was born, for the benefit and for the happiness of the many, as the texts assure us, was a wide world of expanding civilizations and societies, not only in the Indian subcontinent, but beyond. A world of trade, a world of cultural exchange was in formation during this period. As you can see, the trade routes were expanding and linking, spanning the continents. Alexander of Macedonia had already led his troops, accompanied by teams of experts from Mediterranean Europe to Persia and to the frontiers of India. The world was in contact. Perhaps globalization had already begun. What did the Buddha teach? This is not the place for a detailed sermon or an analysis of his teachings. Briefly, he taught how to recognize the problem of human suffering and its causes and how to end suffering. He taught moral causality, an ethical code, and mental cultivation, or meditation, if you like. He claimed to have discovered a natural order of things and to interpret realities that were not created by a god or any such supreme being. His teaching, or rather the teaching of awakened ones in general, is summed up by the verse, not to commit any bad deeds, to accomplish that which is good, to cleanse one's mind. This is the teaching of the Buddhas. During the first several centuries, the monastic order actively spread across India and beyond. There was an idea, I suppose we could call it missionary zeal, if that didn't have a kind of negative connotation in English. There was a spirit to transmit the Buddha's teaching, to make it available to people far and wide. Even very early texts give evidence for this during the lifetime of the Buddha. In one text set on the eve of the Buddha's final passing, the Buddha himself predicted the future of one of the cities, Pataliputra, then a trading town which went on to become the capital of the mighty Maurya dynasty, the seat of the Emperor Asoka, who we will come to later, who had a a very significant role in the spread and dissemination of Buddha, and we can say of the formation of Asian connections.
This is ABC Fora.